Man, Silk Sonic finally dropped this album for us. Damn. But let's talk about it. Y'all ready? Let's go.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B Kid, and I'm back again with another episode of On the Bright Side TV. Welcome back, y'all. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing very well. Listen, man, y'all already know I have to get on this camera and talk about the new Silk Sonic album. You already know I have to do that for the people. I had to do it. The way I've been waiting for this album for so long, ever since Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak announced their union as a group as Silk Sonic back in like February, March of this year, I have been so hyped and I've been loving this new era, this moment, this movement with them as Silk Sonic. I love it. You already know Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak are two of my favorite artists of this generation. To me, they're two of the best artists we have in terms of like, their catalog, performance ability, vocals, just talent, just overall, dedication to their musicality. They are two of my favorite guys in this game. So when they announced they were coming together back in February and March, I was so hyped. I was ready for it. And they first hit us off with Leave the Door Open, which you're gonna check out my reaction for that video as well. I did that earlier this year. When they hit us up with Leave the Door Open, I was like, okay, I love what they're giving to us a lot. I didn't know what to expect from this group, but I was like, whatever they give us, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fire. But I didn't know what to expect. But when they hit us with Leave the Door Open, I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm sold and I'm in. And then they hit us with Skate in the summer, and I love Skate. I feel like a lot of y'all wasn't really feeling Skate, and I get it, but I love Skate. I think it's a great song as well. And then recently, they hit us off with the third single, Smokin' Out the Window, which came out last week. I just filmed my reaction for that, so go check that out if you haven't seen that already. And I think I also did a reaction for Skate as well, so go check that out as well. All great singles, all great songs that had me hyped for this album. So now I'm ready to talk about the whole album, which I think is fire as a project as well. Oh, sorry, big. Oh. And I feel like we definitely delivered with this great, amazing project that I think is fire from head to toe. So let's talk about it. They released the album, their debut album, An Evening with Silk Sonic on November 12th, 2021 on Aftermath and Atlantic Records. This album is pretty much 9 tracks. In terms of features, we only have Thundercat and Bootsy Collins on After Last Night. And in terms of, we got a lot of songwriters, but in terms of producers, pretty much only Bruno Mars and D-Mile helped produce this album, as well as the Stereotypes on After Last Night. And I love how with this album, they're really harkening back to, that throwback retro soul and funk era, the late 60s, 70s, that type of vibe. They really are, reviving it and bringing it back. But I love how they're doing it in a really unique and fresh and updated way. So it's not like corny and dated. That's what I really love about this album. And you can just tell that just by looking at the credits. Like, they only have pretty much two main producers on this album, Bruno Mars and D-Mile, which feels like that's like a 70s album, So I love that they're really bringing it back to that time period where the credits was concise and simple and just straight to the point. 9 songs, no filler, no skips, just straight to the point. It's like 31 minutes. So I really love that. This album is just in and out, all bops, in and out, just get in, get out, all bops, no skips, no filler, which I love as well. And yeah, man, shout out to D-Mile. Like I said, I'm so proud of him. One of my favorite R&B producers of this generation. One of my favorite producers in general for this generation. I love his sound. I love his production. And I'm so proud of him for working on this entire album with Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. I'm so proud of D-Mile. Shout out to you, my guy. Salute. Proud of you, and shout out to Stereotypes as well. I love them. But yeah, man, this album is amazing. Let's talk about it. I just want to say, like, before I get into the album, I'm really just so proud of Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak for really, really doing their best job to really pay respects and pay homage to the greats that came before them. The 60s and 70s artists who were doing their thing and paving the way for artists like Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak to now come through in this new generation and make a project like this. Some of the best music in the world, I think, was coming out around that time in the 60s and 70s, especially when we think about soul music. And I love how Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak have always been tapped into that era. Though they've always been tapped into those artists, into that sound, into that vibe, into the power that music had for the world. And I love how they really have paid homage, paid respect to it, and brought it back and revived it in a really unique and dope way and in a fresh way. I love that. Shout out to them. I'm so proud of them for this project. And I just love, as an R&B kid, as an R&B head, you already know, like, this album drove me insane. I was going crazy listening to the entire time because I feel like this album album. I feel like this album was made so well, sounds so good. It's so retro, it's so throwback, it's so R&B, but it still feels like fresh and unique and updated and current, which I love. So yeah, man, that's just my initial thoughts about the album. Now let's get into my overall thoughts about the album. Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, y'all, so overall thoughts on the album. The first thing I want to say about the album is definitely just how crazy I think everything is technically. Man, when it came to the vocals from Anderson and Bruno, insane. I love how Bruno was just singing his ass off on this album. I mean, Bruno's always sung his ass off, but he definitely delivered like he always has in the past on this project. He was singing his He was singing his ass off on so many songs on this album. Anderson was singing his ass off on this album. And I also love how like Anderson had like some like rap parts on this album as well. I think he was like rapping on Fly As Me, and I think maybe I want to say 777. Yeah, like I love how Anderson had, you know, he's showing his flow as well on this project. And just, man, the production on this album, oh my god, the production of this album is some of the best I think I've heard this year. Shout out and a big shout out and love to all the session players and to all the real instruments and the people who are playing them for this album. You can tell that this album was not like heavy on the digital vibes. Like this album was, I feel like a lot of it was analog, a lot of it was done by real people, real instruments, real people playing them, real people just having jam sessions in the studio. You could just tell, you could feel it, you could hear it. Shout out to all the instruments, you know, all the session players that just came together to create these amazing beds of sounds for these songs that just in your ear just sound crazy. If you listen to this album on headphones, it just sounds so bananas. Like you could tell that they took their time to really finesse and really make sure, like, you know, everything was right. And when it came to how the album was engineered and how they put, you know, all the instruments together and how they arranged the songs lyrically, vocally, they just really took their time to make sure these songs were so perfect. Like on some real shit, like these songs I feel like are so perfect. And I know Joe Budden on this podcast is talking about sometimes like their music is like too perfect. And I'm like, I feel you, they're too perfect, but that doesn't bother me. Like I love that because I feel like we don't really have enough of that these days. I feel like a lot of artists love making like imperfect shit these days, which is fine. And that's cool, but I love that Smokin is kind of taking a departure from that and really saying, you know what, we want to go back to real musicality, you know, taking, you know, weeks and months and years to work on like a single song and making sure it's perfect. Every little piece of the song is perfect. You can tell they put their heart and soul into making sure the vocals were crazy. The production is insane. Every instrument was placed where it needed to be. The players went in, the vocals are insane, the production's insane, and the lyrics are so well done throughout this whole album. Lyrically, they were in their bag with this album. A lot of these lyrics are so simple, but like timeless and accessible, and you can easily sing along. You can understand everything. You can relate to, a lot of people can relate to all these tracks in some type of way. It's just a really accessible and really, I just think it's an album that the kids can enjoy, you know, black people can enjoy, white people can enjoy, adults can enjoy. Like this is an album that's for everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone can really enjoy this album, so I just love that. I love that they took their time to really make sure that this album was for everybody, you know what I'm saying? So I love that. Yeah, man, just in terms of the arrangements, impeccable. Like that, to me, that's the highlight of this album. The highlight was just the impeccable vocal, lyrical, and production arrangements on this album. This album was just technically amazing. I loved it. It's just a real masterful showcase of artistry, musicality, and just real homegrown talent, man. I loved it. Amazing. Just vibes from start to finish. Amazing. And also, you know, I have to just say, for anyone who thinks, you know, this sound that they have for this album is corny or it's outdated or it's like, you know, whatever, like, F you, you know what I'm saying? This shit is talent. This album, this music is talent. It's real music for that ass, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's this album and this music is so necessary for this generation and for the 2020s, because I feel like we just don't have enough of these vibes right now in this generation. I feel like we need this type of vibe. So if anybody thinks this is corny, I get you, but I think that's a whack take. I feel like we don't have enough of this, and I really would love for you to hop up on board and realize how amazing it is for us to be able to have this type of music in the marketplace right now in the 2020s, and a time right now where people don't respect this type of music. And I love how we have two of the best guys that can do it, doing it at a high level, doing it in a really good way, and doing it in a way where it's not, to me, it's not corny, it's not outdated, it's accessible, it's dope, and it's still timeless and iconic. It still feels now but it still feels like yesterday, and it also feels like tomorrow as well. So I feel like it's just perfect. But let me know what y'all think about that. So another thing I love about this album is if you look at the track list and the sequencing, I really feel like, you know, Silk Sonic actually took us on a little bit of a journey with the album. Like not only just a sonic journey, but also like a real journey. Like I feel like it's telling a little bit of a story too. You know, going from like Leave the Door Open to Fly As Me. After like this, from track to track, it really is telling like somewhat of a story, you know, like Leave the Door Open, we about to have a little sexy night, you know what I'm saying, welcome to Silk Sonic's world, and then Fly As Me, you know, had a good night, now listen, I want somebody, you know, I want a girl who's Fly As Me, we could be lit together, and then after last night, you know, my girl who's Fly As Me, we had a good night, we had a, you know, we had a good vibe, had a good night, and you know, it was memorable, and now we on to the next, and then Smoke Out the Window, you know, my girl hurt me, we had a good night, but now she hurt me, and now I'm trying to move on from her, and then Put On the Smile is like the heartbreak anthem where it's like, oh, but now my girl hurt me and I'm trying to get through it. And then 777, you know what, my girl hurt me, but I'm over it. Now we're gonna go party in Vegas, have a good time. And then Skate, we're still having a good time. And now I'm finding maybe a new girl, and I want her to skate to me, and I want to catch a new vibe with her. And then Blast Off, now we'll blast off into the universe, and now we're gonna get high and keep on living our lives. Like, it's a little story, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel like this album told like a story, and it was really sequenced beautifully. I feel like the sequencing is perfection. I feel like each track flowed into the next so perfectly, and I love how I really did tell like a really short and succinct but a dope, timeless story, you know what I'm saying? So I love that about the album. Last thing I love about the album is I also love how they really had Bootsy Collins, like, you know, included in this whole project. I love how they had him all over this album. Like, they really interpolated Bootsy Collins' voice and his vibe like throughout the whole album. You heard like Bootsy Collins pop up in like different parts of songs, and then he was like in the backgrounds in certain places, and I love that. Like, it felt like it was Silk Sonic's show, but like Bootsy Collins was like the side act, and you heard him all the time, and I loved his presence on the album. I loved his voice on the album, and I feel like his energy and his voice and his tone and what he was like, what he was saying, I feel like was just perfect for the album. So I love how they have Bootsy Collins on it, you know, legend, and I feel like it was perfect for helping to guide the vibes of this album. So I'm glad they got him on board, and I love how they had him all over the album. It was perfect. So I love that they included Bootsy Collins. To me, that was a great choice, and I feel like it worked out so well. And to me, this album is damn near perfect, to be honest, but the one critique I have of this album is I just feel like it is a little bit too short. I know Bruno Mars is the king of short albums, and we know that. That's cool. You know, 24 Karat Magic was 9 tracks, and that was great. But for me, because the first track is like an intro, this is really only 8 tracks. And before the album came out, we already heard 3 of them. So it's like, I kind of wish we had like one more track. I feel like that would have made it perfect. I feel like this would have been perfect if it had been 10 tracks. Keep the intro, maybe give us an outro, or just give us like one more track. I feel like if we had one more track in this album, it would have been perfect. Like 30 minutes is cool, but I feel like 30 minutes is like a little bit too short. It should have been like 35, 40 minutes. Give us like one more track and make some of these other tracks maybe a little bit longer, and it would have been perfect. So I'm not really sure what the decision was. I mean, I know, like, knowing Bruno Mars and knowing NSPAC, I know they wanted to get in and get out. They didn't want to overstay their welcome, and I love that energy, and I love that you know, that thought process. But at the same time, I feel like this album could have had at least one more track. Like, I feel like we could have one more, and that would have been perfect. And I feel like the perfect place for that track could have been in between Skate and Blast Off. Like, the transition between Skate and Blast Off is not, like, weird to me, but I feel like it would have been great to have had one track in between Skate and Blast Off to make it 10 tracks, and maybe, like, you know, 33, 4, 5 minutes. It would have been perfect. Y'all agree? Let me know what y'all think about that. But really, that's my only beef with this album. This album is perfect, but I just wish we had like one more track. It needed like one more track, and maybe like another up-tempo, or like another ballad, or maybe like some type of like experimental, like alternative, like weird type of track. Something between Skate and Blast Off would have been perfect. Let me know what y'all think about that. Alright, so those are my overall thoughts on the album. Now let me get into my track-by-track review. Alright, so the album starts off with the Silk Sonic intro. Cool little intro, just kind of, you know, introducing the vibes of this album. You know, Bootsy Collins is introing Silk Sonic, and he's talking about, you know, come in, get ready, let's have a good night with Silk Sonic, let's get into the vibes. Great intro, I love the vibe of it. It feels like a classic intro for like a 70s album where they're introducing, you know, the masterful vibes that you're about to hear. So it's great. And then we go to Leave the Door Open, which I'm not going to go into in depth because you've already heard that song, we know it, and we love it. And I've already done a reaction to that song, so go check that out. But pretty much Leave the Door Open is classic. I think it's gonna be one of the timeless and classic songs of this generation. It already is, and definitely will be. Love this song, definitely one of my favorite songs off the album. Classic record. All right, next up we got the track Fly As Me, which to me is definitely one of the highlights off of this album. Fly As Me is crazy, y'all. I love this song. This song is crazy. It's bananas. It has such a good groove on it. Doom, 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 doom. I love the groove on Fly As Me, it's crazy. And the motherfucking vocals on this song by both of these guys was insane. And those instruments on the song mixed with Anderson .Paak's impeccable flow throughout the verses. Oh my God, all insane. And then you give me like, you know, this fly ass bridge and breakdown towards the end of the song. Amazing. This song is everything. It's a highlight for me. I love what it's talking about. For me, this song, like, it spoke to me the first time I heard it, because I was like, yes, like, I feel like I'm a fly ass dude. And I'm like, when I'm with somebody, I want somebody that's as fly as me, like, point blank period. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Like, when you're this fly, you want somebody that's fly as you. Like, I felt that. So this song, when I first heard it, I was like, oh my God, this song is speaking to me, not only musically because of how good it sounds, because of how well they arranged it, but also what it's talking about. And it feels so fly and effortless and funky and groovy. Just amazing. Fly As Me, everything. One of my favorite tracks of this album, and one of the highlights of this record. It sounds so good, it feels so good. I love what it's talking about, and it's just, it's a whole moment. Fly As Me is, it's gonna be a timeless and iconic record for years to come. I love this record, for real. Next up, we got the track After Last Night. After Last Night. Oh man, another favorite of mine. I love this song. Another amazing, perfect record, to be honest. After Last Night, to me, is just pure bliss, and I feel like it's a sex playlist song for the ages. It's so good. This should go on everybody's sex playlist. Let's talk about it. It's a sexy record. It's slinky. It's groovy. It's emotional. It's vibrant. It's bright. It's a great record, man. And Bruno was singing his little ass off on this song. He was singing his little ass off. Bruno got in that studio and he did what he had to do for the song. Like, oh my God, I love the classic feel of the song. It feels so classic. It feels old school, but it still feels fresh and new. It just hits the soul for real. Like, it hits the soul. I love Thundercat's, you know, production on it as well. Shout out to Thundercat, and Bootsy Collins was also on it as well, doing this thing. Love this track. This feels like just an amazing posse cut. Shout out to Stereotypes as well in the production. Just an amazing song that I feel like would have fit right in on 24 Karat Magic as well. Just a really great song, man. After Last Night is out of this world. This song is vibes from start to finish, like production, vocals, lyrics. Like, it's a timeless, crazy, iconic record, man. I love it. Next up, we got the track Smokin' Out the Window. I already filmed my reaction to this song recently, so you can go check that out if you haven't seen it already. But Smoke Out the Window is also one of my favorite tracks off the album. This is a great song. I feel like Smoke Out the Window is such a special ballad. It's an expertly written song about the perspective of being wronged, of a man being wronged by his woman when he held her down. And I feel like I love that, because I feel like this is a perspective that's not really like spoken enough about, and it's not really sung about a lot in music. So I love that Silk Sonic really gave the fellas, you know, the men, we really needed like our classic but savage anthem. You know, I feel like Silk Sonic really gave it to us, so I'm really happy for that. Like, I'm happy for us. I love that for us. Like, they gave us that anthem that we needed when our woman done us wrong, and we wanted to just express ourselves and call out her BS. Like, I love that. Like, we don't see that enough in music, so I love that Silk Sonic gave the guys that anthem that we needed, and they did it so well. Smoke Out the Window is a song where the men can be real about, you know, just being upset and being hurt, and just smoke out the window and just airing out your feelings. Like, I love that. The video is amazing. I love that it's a single. I love that they're pushing it, because I love this record. I feel like it's definitely gonna do well this fall. I love Smoke Out the Window, a great song, man. And Silk Sonic, they did what they needed to do on this record for the guys. Man, Smoke Out the Window was definitely a highlight, and they killed it. Love this record. And then after that, we get to follow up Smoke Out the Window with another ballad where the man gets to be vulnerable and real about his feelings. Perfection. Next track we got is Put On a Smile. Perfect follow-up after Smoke Out the Window. When I first heard Put On a Smile, I was like, I feel like this would have fit right in on Unorthodox Jukebox. So let me know if y'all disagree, but I feel like it would have fit right in. But I love this song. Another highlight for me. This song is really bananas, really crazy. It's such a well-made heartbreak anthem for the fellas. And I really can't believe that apparently Bruno was working on this song for years. Like, I think he started it in like 2015 or 2016. They've been working on this song for years. And I'm like, what? So we could have had this song in our hands for years. But you was just holding on to it, you know, just to hold on to it. Like, damn, Bruno. But at the same time, I'm not mad, because I feel like it came out perfect. So I'm glad he took his time to make this record. It came out perfect. And I'm glad he waited until, you know, Paak could come on and contribute as well. But yeah, man, I love Put On a Smile. A really dope and powerful and beautiful ballad. You know, expressing male vulnerability when relationships go awry, which we don't hear enough about, so I love that. Such a powerful ballad. It came out perfect. I'm so proud of them. It's really a well-made and well-structured and well-sung and performed song. Just so classic and timeless, and really a masterclass in balladry, musicality, and just being real on the track and just making a really good hit song. Great record. And then we get the track 777, which picks up the mood a little bit. After we were hurt, now we kind of let go of it, and now we're gonna party in Vegas and have a good time. 777 is a crazy track, such a highlight. I love how it's like one of the most bright up tempos on the album, and I feel like this song would have fit right in on 24 Karat Magic. I feel like it would have fit right in. It feels like it would have been perfect on the album, but it still fits here as well. It's perfect. And man, my only beef with this song is that it should have been longer. It was such a good vibe. It was so crazy. I'm like, why is it so short? Can you imagine the energy that must have been in the studio when they were recording and working on this song? Like, just when you hear the song, you're like, yo, I wonder what it must have been like to have been in the studio recording and having fun with this track. Can you imagine how fun they, oh my God, can you imagine how much fun they must have had in the studio when this song was playing? This song is so crazy. The energy is insane, it's out of this world. And for that, I'm just like, but why couldn't it have been longer? Why is it under 3 minutes? This song should have been like 4 minutes long. It's that good. But yeah, man, I love this track. Next up, we get Skate, which I've already done a reaction for as well, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but pretty much I love this song. I don't know why y'all didn't give Skate its stings when it first came out. Y'all were like, oh, this song is not like Leave It Open, it's not as good. I'm like, but this song is crazy. This production is insane. They're singing their ass off. It's arranged well. The music video makes you feel good. It's another feel-good record. Like, I don't know why y'all didn't like Skate. To me, Skate was perfect for the summer. So I don't know what y'all wanted them to do in the summer, but I didn't want another Leave It Open in the summer. I wanted a bright up-tempo song in the summer, so Skate was perfect for that. So I love Skate. Y'all didn't give it its things, but that's a goddamn shame because I love this record. This song is still gorgeous to me. It's arranged so well. It's classic, and it only gets better to me with each listen. I love this record. I also put up my Bright Side Mix Volume 19, so you go check that out as well. But yeah, Skate is everything. I feel like this song is timeless and classic. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel happy. It's gorgeous. It's so well made. And like I said, it gets better with each listen. Love this song. And last track on the album is the song Blast Off. Love this song. Such a mood. The vibe on Blast Off is amazing. It's everything. This sounds like it came right off of some of the best albums from the 70s while still sounding fresh and not dated at all. So I love it. It feels like it came right off of a 70s album, but in 2021, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this song is definitely gonna go on every smoker's playlist, as it should. And if you're a smoker and this song does not go on your playlist, I don't know what you're doing with yourself. This song is perfect. Talking about just blasting off into the stratosphere, you know what I'm saying? You know, catching a little vibe and just blasting off with you and your lady, you know what I'm saying? I love this vibe. Love the song. It's such a cool way to kind of end off the album in a really chill, relaxed way. So I love how they did it. I feel it was placed perfectly at the end. I really feel like this song is honestly like therapy. This shit is therapy and healing in musical form, straight up, like for real. Blast Off is a song you can just put on if you're stressed, if you're a little bit anxious, put on Blast Off, and that shit gonna give you healing and just energy and calm, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna give you therapy and vibes, you know what I'm saying? Blast Off is that type of song. It's just that good. It's musical healing. It feels that good. I love the song. So yeah, man, great way to end off the album. Like I said, even though I love Blast Off as the last song, I kind of wish we had like one more song in between Skate and Blast Off. It would have made it perfect if it was 10 tracks, but other than that, it's all good. Alright, so I'll just close off my review by talking about my favorite tracks and my rating. So honestly, damn near every track on this album is amazing. There's not one track I did not like. It's hard for me to pick out just a few favorites. I couldn't, because every song is like equally good. But I'll say my favorite favorites, like the ones that are my favorite favorites, is obviously Leave the Door Open, Fly As Me, for sure. That song is bananas. After Last Night, crazy record. Smoke Out the Window, pretty much the first and Put On a Smile too. Like those first 5 tracks after the intro, insane. Like that sequence is bananas. Put On a Smile is great, and then also Skate as well. So those are my favorite tracks. Yeah, the first 5 tracks after the intro, and then Skate. I love 777 and I love Blast Off as well. Not my favorites, but those are great tracks as well. But the other tracks are my favorite tracks off the album. So damn near the whole album is amazing. Damn near the whole album is my favorite tracks. You know what I'm saying? So, and in terms of my rating for this album, I don't think I've done this in a while, but I'm gonna give this album a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I feel like this album is that good. To me, this album was damn near perfect. It's pretty much a masterpiece. I feel like this album is classic already. Like I said, I wish I had one more track, but besides that, I love this album. I feel like it's classic. I feel like a 4 would have been okay, but this album is so good that I feel like it deserves a 4.5 out of 5. Definitely have to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. 5, obviously, it's not 5 stars, but 4.5 feels like a great rating. Let me know what y'all think about my rating down below. Do y'all think it's too high? Y'all think it's too low? Let me know what y'all think down below. Alright, y'all, so that was my review of Silk Sonic's new album, their debut album, An Evening with Silk Sonic. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Let me know what y'all thought about the review down below, and let me know how y'all felt about the album down below. Do you guys love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was amazing? Or did you think it was like, you know, in the middle, could have been better? Let me know what you would have loved to have, you know, changed about the album. Did you want more tracks? Did you want less tracks? Did you want more features? I know at one point Ariana Grande and Childish Gambino were rumored to be on the album, and that, I feel like that would have been dope, but I'm not mad that they're not here. But yeah, let me know if you wanted other features. Let me know if you wanted anything different about the album. Give me all your thoughts about the album down below, okay? Appreciate y'all. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? Thank you. Alright, y'all, I'm about to get off this camera, but like I always say, guys, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song, make you feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song, or go listen to one of these songs, because they'll definitely make you feel better, for sure. For especially Fly As Me, 777, Blast Off, they're gonna make you feel better, you know what I'm saying? So definitely go check out this album if you haven't already, because it's a masterpiece. Alright, y'all, this has been your boy Bright, the R&B Kid. Thank you for watching, but for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all. Peace.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit. You don't gotta worry, you can just